Right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to today's session. So, in the last class, we have seen how do we compare learning algorithms, right? What is a true error? What is sample error, right? So, evaluating hypothesis was our last class. So, we have seen how do we evaluate hypothesis, and now just have a look at the syllabus. Yeah, this is your theory syllabus. I hope it is visible, or else I'll increase the font. So friends, this is your syllabus. Yeah, this is the syllabus, machine learning. So unit 1 we have discussed in detail. Unit 2, artificial neural networks. So what is a neural network? What are the appropriate problems that can be solved using neural networks, perceptrons, multi-layer network, and backpropagation algorithm. And we have also seen how the gradient descent is used in backpropagation algorithm, right? Then we have also discussed how do we evaluate an hypothesis. So this is what is unit 2, and today we will start unit 3, and this is the syllabus for unit 3. So as part of unit 3, we will be discussing Bayesian learning, computational learning theory, and instance-based learning. So Bayesian learning, computational learning theory, instance-based learning. So there are again 3 parts in unit 3. So today we will start the first part, Bayesian learning, right? So today we will see what is a Bayes theorem, right? And what are the applications of this Bayesian learning or Bayes theorem, right? So we will move on. Right, I think my screen is visible to you. Yeah. So friends, this Bayes theorem, right? Bayes is the name of a mathematician, right, who has actually invented or developed this particular theorem called as Bayes theorem, right? Bayes theorem is very, very important, and if you remember, we have solved our first lab experiment using Bayes theorem only, right? So Bayes theorem talks about conditional probability, right? Let me explain you. Conditional probability. If at all you have studied in your second year about conditional probability, well and good. If not, we will discuss now. That's not a big deal. So friends, what Bayes theorem tells, or what Bayes theorem is all about, it explains or it talks about Bayes theorem. Bayes theorem is all about conditional probability. Conditional probability. This is an important word. Conditional probability. So what is conditional probability? What is conditional probability? Conditional probability means the chances of occurrence of a particular event is called as probability, right? So what is probability? What is probability? The chances of occurrence of an event, right? What is the probability that today it may rain? Right, people say 50% there is a chance that today it may rain. Some people may say, like, if you take example of ongoing cricket match, you can say, well, what are the chances of India winning the test match? Right, the probability of India winning the test match is 60%. So whenever we talk about likelihood of occurrence of any event, then it is called as probability, right? probability, and conditional probability. Conditional probability means if that probability depends on some other condition, right? So what are the chances of India winning the test match, right? What are the chances of India winning the test match if Rohit Sharma does not play? Now see there is a condition is added now, right? So what is generally probability? Probability means chances of occurrence of an event, right? What is the probability of India winning the test match? That is probability. But if I add some condition to it, what are the chances of India winning the test match if Rohit Sharma does not play? Then you may say that, sir, the chances will be reduced, or the chances of India winning the test match in the absence of Rohit Sharma are very, very less. Means the probability is either increasing or decreasing, right, based on certain conditions. So if the probability of occurrence of an event depends on a condition, then it is called as conditional probability, right? So the what is conditional probability? The probability of occurrence of an event depends on certain condition, right? Based on the condition, based on the given condition, if we try to calculate the probability, of occurrence of the event, then it is called conditional probability, right? So what is the meaning of conditional probability? Probability of occurrence of an event depends on certain condition. Based on the given condition, if we try to calculate the probability of occurrence of the event, then it is called as conditional probability. Right, friends? Is it clear the meaning of conditional probability? Now, if you try to recollect our first lab exercise, right? What was our first lab exercise? Let me show you that. This was our first lab exercise. Please have a look at this question. First experiment. The probability that it is Friday and that a student is absent is 3%. So event here is student is absent, right? The student is absent is the occurrence of an event, and on that particular day, if it is Friday or not, that is the condition which we have to consider. So conditional probability, the probability that it is Friday and student is absent is 3%. Since there are 5 school days in a week, the probability that it is Friday is 20%. Obviously, we know that. Out of 5 days, how many times Friday will come? 1 by 5 times. So it is 20%. What is the probability that a student is absent, right? We don't know that whether it is Friday or not. One day a student is absent, right? On a given day, the student is absent. What is the probability that that particular day will be Friday? So this is nothing but our Bayes rule, my dear friends. So the formula which we have applied to solve this problem is nothing but the Bayes theorem, right? So see here, this is the Bayes theorem. Probability of occurrence of an event, right here H represents the hypothesis, D is our data. So probability of occurrence of an event based on certain conditions is equal to P of D by H into P of H by P of D. So friends, in order to simplify this, let us not complicate it by using the words HD, all those things. Whatever we have done in our previous problem, right? What we have done in our previous problem is right probability of P of B by A is equal to P of A intersection B divided by P of B. Right? Same thing we have applied in our last experiment. The probability of the student getting absent, right, on Fridays, it was intersection and was there in our statement if you look at the question. So it was 30%, something like that. It was 0.03, not 30%. It was 3%, so 0.03, right? And what is the probability of a day becoming Friday was 20%, 0.2, 0.2, right? That is what is the question, right? We have solved it. Where is this question? Right? See here. What is the probability that a student is absent that today is Friday? Means on a given day the student is absent, and what is the probability that that particular day is Friday? So it is nothing but, see here, when you look at the question, you should try to understand whether it is a normal probability based question or it is something related to conditional probability, right? So if you observe friends, it is based on conditional probability. So what was given in this question is the probability that it is a Friday and the student is absent is 3% and is there. So P of A and B is given to you. P of A and B is given to you. And what we need to do is we have to find this. P of H or D means H means here the event actually. So what is the event? Student is absent. Now what we want, when the student is absent on a particular day, what is the probability that that particular day is Friday? So for that the formula is probability of D by H into probability of H by probability of D. So same formula we have applied and we have calculated and we got 15% as the result, right? So this is from where we got this, means it is Bayes theorem, right? So if we talk in terms of probabilities, we will see one more example. Don't worry. If we talk in terms of probabilities, P of H is called as prior probability of the hypothesis H. P of D is the prior probability of training data D, and P of H or D means probability of H given D. P of DH means probability of D given H, right? So let us see one more example so that we get complete idea on Bayes theorem. We will come back to this slide. Choosing hypothesis, we will come back. Because first we need to understand the Bayes theorem. Even this also we will come back. For example. 1 second, we will see when these are the basic formulas. See here. So before we apply Bayes theorem, we should know these three formulas, my dear friends. Product rule. So probability of A and B of a conjunction of two events A and B, probability of A and B is equal to probability of A by B into probability of B, right? Which is also same as probability of B by A into probability of A. So this is called as product rule. This is important, my dear friends. You have to remember this. Similarly, here we had a and relationship. So if we have or relationship between two events, then P of A or B, probability of disjunction of two events, means this or this may happen, A or B may occur. So then the probability will be calculated as probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A and B, right? Theorem for total probability, it is nothing but if the events A1 to AN are mutually exclusive. What do you mean by mutually exclusive? This is an important theorem. What do you mean by mutually exclusive? If the events A1 to AN are mutually exclusive. So what do you mean by mutually exclusive? Can anybody respond? What do you mean by mutually exclusive? Nobody knows what is mutually exclusive. Independent events, not just independent events. Independent, they are independent, but independent events are not mutually exclusive. Separate events, no intersection, not convinced. Mutually exclusive means if one event A1 occurs, then A2 will not occur at any cost. Disjoint events, yeah, both occur. That's what disjoint, both occur at a time. No, they never occur at same time. B5, they never occur at same time. Mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive. If you try to recollect operating system subject which you have studied in second year, so we had a critical section. We had a critical section, and we used to access critical section using semaphore, right? Or an algorithm called as mutex. So what is mutual exclusion? We have studied in OS, right? If one process enters into critical section, all other processes will wait. All other processes have to wait. At a time, only one process or only one thread can use the critical section. So that is called as mutual exclusive. Means if P1 enters into critical section, all other processes P2, P3, P4, etc., they are supposed to wait. At a time, only one fellow can enter into critical section. Similarly, so that is what is mutual exclusion, which you have studied in OS. So coming back to our theorem, the theorem of total probability says, I'm sorry, if events A1 to AN are mutually exclusive, if events A1 to AN are mutually exclusive means if A1 occurs, A2, A3, A4, A5, AN, no other event will occur. If A5 occurs, no other event A1, A2, A3, A4, A6, A7, no other event will occur. So mutually exclusive events means at a time only one event will occur, right? So theorem of total probability says if the events A1 to AN are mutually exclusive, One second. I'm sorry. Right. So what is the theorem of total probability? If events A1 to AN are mutually exclusive, then see here, sigma of I equal to n, probability of AI equal to 1, then the theorem of total probability says probability of B is equal to sigma of I equal to 1 to n. 1 to n means total number of events. Probability of B is equal to probability of B by AI into probability of AI. It means, friends, for example, if I have 10 events, 10 events that can occur, then if I want to find probability of 10th event, if I want to find probability of 10th event, so I'll write like this: probability of 10th event I want to find. What is the probability that the 10th event may occur? So in that case, remaining 9 events are there, right? So one is I is equal to 1 to 9. Now what I should do is probability of 10th event probability I want 10 by, now let me erase this one. So here comes AI means my first event into probability of first event. Like that I should do sigma. There is a sigma, right? So for all remaining events I should do it. I should write like this. Same sigma, I'm trying to write it completely. Plus 9 times this statement will come, sir. Probability of 10 by 2. 2 means second event into probability of 2 plus sigma symbol, right? So like that, plus 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. For all remaining 9 events, I need to find this probabilities, means probability of occurrence of B, right? When given A, means here A means probability of 1, probability of 2, 3, remaining 9 events. So this gives me the total probability, or the probability of occurrence of B, right? If I am dealing with mutually exclusive events. So here A1 to AN represents set of events. One of them is taken as B. Probability of B is equal to probability of B by AI into probability of AI. So this AI represent all remaining events. Any one of them I will take it here, and its total probability I will calculate. For example, if I want total probability of first event, so what I will do, probability of 1 is equal to, equal to probability of 1 is equal to, same thing I need to do, probability of 1 by 2, means here 2 means second event, then P of 2 plus P of 1 by 3 into P of 3 plus P of 1 by 4 into P of 4. Like that I need to do for remaining 9 events. That is what is summation. So when you apply this formula, you will get the total probability value of a particular event when the given set of events are mutually exclusive. You can expect a question on theorem of total probability also, right? Fine. Now going back to this one. See here, application of Bayes theorem. Application of Bayes theorem. So friends, does a patient have cancer or not? I would like to tell you, Bayes theorem is used widely in healthcare. Bayes theorem is used widely in healthcare. Of course, it can be used in many other sectors, but already, right, already Bayes theorem is applied in many applications, in many machine learning applications related to healthcare. So Bayes theorem is very important. It is being used. Why it is being used in healthcare so widely, we will try to understand slowly, right? So let us try to solve a problem using Bayes theorem. So does the patient have cancer or not? This is what I need to answer. The question which I want to answer is, does a patient have cancer or not? Now read this question carefully. This is very important, right? A patient takes a lab test. A patient takes a lab test and the result comes back positive, right? Result comes back positive. So there are two things here, my dear friends. One is taking the diagnosis test is one thing. Getting a positive report is another thing, right? Now tell me, in these two things, which one is the event? Which one is the event and which one is the condition? Which one is the event? Because conditional probability we are discussing now. Bayes theorem is all about conditional probability, right? Now what is conditional probability? We have discussed in detail. So what is probability? Probability means the chances of occurrence of a particular event. And if it is based on certain condition, then we use the word conditional probability. Now tell me, going for a diagnostic test is one thing, and the test result coming back as positive is another thing. Now tell me, in both of these two things, which one is the event? Which one is the event? Please respond in the chat box, because you have to understand the question. Otherwise the answer you can't understand. You will not understand answer if you cannot understand the question. Taking lab test is the event, condition is positive result. Test is the event. Right. See here what the question says. Does patient have cancer or not? So what is the probability, or what you are trying to solve, or what you are trying to find is, does a patient have a cancer or not, right? So having cancer or not is an important point. Now the event here, what you told is actually reverse. So here the event is, here the event is having cancer is the event. Having cancer is the event, right? Why I am saying having cancer is the event means I am interested to know whether a person has got a cancer or not. My interest is not in the test conducted, because that test may also give a wrong result, right? Got the point? Whenever a test is conducted, there is no 100% guarantee that the test report is really correct, right? So why we apply Bayes theorem? Why we apply conditional probability? What is the benefit of Bayes theorem is, right? What is the use of Bayes theorem is, suppose you have done some test, and based on the test report you are saying that a person has got cancer or not. Now Bayes theorem will help me, Bayes theorem will help me in justifying whether that report is correct or not, right? If the report says that the person if the report says that it is positive and the person has got cancer, To what extent I can believe this report? To what extent I can believe this report? That is another important point. And my dear friends, Bayes' theorem will help you in justifying this particular report, right? So you apply Bayes' theorem, right, to confidently say that yes, this fellow has got cancer because the report is positive. And to what extent report can be trusted, or to what extent I can believe that report, that what we say, belief will come after applying Bayes' theorem. After applying Bayes' theorem, right? So a patient takes a lab test and the result comes back positive. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. Right? Result comes back positive. Done. This is one point. Test returns a correct positive result only 98% of the cases. This point, read it carefully. The test returns a correct positive result in only 98% of the cases in which the disease is actually present. The test returns a correct positive result in only 98% of the cases in which the disease is actually present. So what do you understand by this one? 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 What do you understand by second point? Out of 100 cases, means if 100 people go for, yeah, accuracy is 98% great. Means if 100 people go for the test, or if 100 people take the test, for only 98 people the result will be correct. Means for 98 positive cases it will say it is positive, but for two people 97. That is the next line, my dear. For two people, it will say that they don't have cancer. Actually, they have cancer, right? For two people, it says, they don't have cancer, but originally they have the cancer. So that is the point. Please try to understand the question. So the test returns a correct positive result only 98% of cases. Means if 100 people take the test, if 100 people who really have cancer, and if they take test, for only 98 people it will say that they have cancer. For two people it will say that they don't have cancer, but they actually have cancer. They actually have cancer. So this is one important point to be noted. Similarly, right? And now this is the continuation, my dear friends. And a correct negative result only 97% of cases in which disease is not present. Now, what do you mean by this? If I send 100 people who don't have cancer, if I send 100 people who don't have cancer, for 97 people it will say that yes, they don't have cancer, means report will be negative and they don't have cancer. But for 3 people it will give positive, right? Now, coming to this first line, so what is happening here? The test returns correct positive result in only 98% of the cases in which the disease is actually present. Means if I send 100 cancer patients to take this test, For 98 people, it will say positive, 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 which is correct. They have cancer. But for 2 people, it is saying they don't have cancer. Means for 2 people, actually they have cancer. Actually they have cancer, but the report says negative. But originally they have cancer, right? So the report is giving 2% times wrong answer. 2% times it says negative, but originally they have cancer. Originally it should be positive. So 2% times it is giving negative for positive cases also. So such negatives are called as false negatives. False negative. Important word, my dear friends. False negative. Now similarly in the second case, what is happening is, I am sending 100 people who don't have cancer. I am sending 100 people who don't have cancer to take the test. For 97% people it gave negative, means they don't have cancer, which is correct. But for 3% people, it is giving wrong result, means it is telling they have cancer, means it is telling result is positive, but originally all these 100 people, they don't have cancer at all. So this 3% positive rate is wrong, so it is false positive. So friends, please try to understand these two words: false negative, false positive. False negative, false positive. Is it clear, these two words? We will solve the problem slowly. Let us try to understand the question in detail first of all. So please let me know whether the word false negative and false positive is clear or not. Please respond, my dear students. Yes. Remaining students, 572 has responded. D5, G5, 515, 588, H0. That's great, right? So we will move on. Now continuation, question is not yet completed. Furthermore, point 0.008 of entire population have this cancer, right? Whether you send 100 positive people or 100 negative people, right? In entire population, 0.008 people have the cancer. This already is given in the question. So 0.008 people are already, we know that this much percentage of people, they have cancer. That I already know, right? Now see here, these are the important variables, or important, you can say, parts of the formula. Probability of having cancer, probability of not having cancer. This is negation symbol, my dear friends, right? This is negation, right? Negation symbol. Not having cancer. Probability of having cancer. So this is probability of having cancer, probability of not having cancer. Now probability of, this is our false, what we say, false positive, false negatives, right? This we have seen. So how much times it is, this is our 98%, right? 98% it is telling that people, the really people who have got the cancer, for them 98% it says yes they have cancer, but for 2% it is saying they don't have cancer, but actually they have. So false negative. Similarly, false positive, and for negative results 97% it is giving correct answers. For 3%, means even though it is negative, it is actually negative, but it is saying that it is false negative, right? It is saying that they do have cancer. there is some disturbance at my side. Yeah, no issue. Right, friends, we'll move on and we will see how to solve this one. There is a formula. Right. So these are the components: probability of having cancer, probability of not having cancer, right? And they depend on two other important components. If you are looking for correct positive result, in that how much percentage is it is really saying correct, and how much percentage is false positive, right? False negative, and in how many cases it is false positive. So all these parameters need to be calculated, and if you want to compute the probability of having cancer. Now, what is the use of this Bayes theorem is, right? What is the use of this Bayes theorem is, if I calculate probability of cancer, probability of not having cancer, based on these probabilities, based on this answer of Bayes theorem, what I can tell is to what extent, this particular tests or this particular test reports can be considered, or to what extent this particular hypothesis can be considered, right? For example, in this example, we have seen only one type of test, right? So the test which we are doing here, I can call this test has one hypothesis H1, right? Similarly, I can have one more hypothesis H2, right? If I am dealing with neural networks, I have one network called as N1. I have another artificial neural network called as N2. For the same problem, I can have one neural network, I can have second neural network to solve the same problem. So one neural network will give me one hypothesis output function, and another neural network will give me another hypothesis or output function for the same problem. Now, if you say, sir, I have both H1 and H2, I have both H1 and H2, which one is more important or which one is more accurate? Then by applying Bayes theorem, we can justify either H1 is better than H2 or H2 is better than H1, or which one is more accurate. Just like the comparison of learning algorithms which we have done yesterday, in the same comparison of learning algorithms concept, we can even use this Bayes theorem to identify which one will give a better result, right? So friends, I hope the question is clear today, and whatever variables which we are going to use in this question are identified here, right? I think 10:20 it is, right? Fine. So if the question is clear, we will solve this problem tomorrow, right, in our next class, and then we will go to what we say, evaluation of hypothesis, like how H1 and H2 are compared. All those things we will see in the next class, right? Today, I hope the question is clear to you, and the basic formulas, product rule, sum rule, and theorem of total probability is clear to you. And the question which we have seen, where is the question? Whether does a patient have cancer or not? This is the question. So friends, this particular question, right, I wanted you to understand the question properly. I hope you understood the question, and we will solve this tomorrow in the next class, right? And we will continue our discussion on Bayes theorem, right? You have another class, so I can't continue right now. So I hope, what do you mean by false positive, what is false negative? I think these things are clear to you. So what is Bayes theorem, and what is the purpose of Bayes theorem? Is it clear to everyone? Please let me know. Please let me know in the chat box. Please respond. Right. So we will apply